Some of the drivers think of this miserable weather.
Okay, Ronnie, when did you notice the red flag?
Well, just as soon as I'd give the thumbs down when I went across the judges' stand down there. When I got down to the first turn again there to make my turn, I seen a red flag down there, so
We noticed the cab overs are having a rough time. What about the conventional cab? Is it just as rough?
what do you think?
Sorry I asked, right?
Twice as bad, maybe 3 times.
Okay, Don?
How bad is it out there? How do you spell bad? B-A-D. How's your backside feel right now?
Steve, I can't agree with it. I think it's great out there. We just got the wrong hole. We need a scarab.
And like we did in 1985, we brought you Mercury reports on other forms of boat racing. Here's our first report for 1986.
Choppy water, threatening skies, and thrilling blowover accidents marked the first round of the stock outboard Mercury Challenge Series for 1986. Drivers from 11 states, coast to coast, gathered at this Orlando, Florida suburb to race for the highest 3-class purse in the long history of stock outboard closed course racing. 62 boats in 3 classes participated in a thrilling water speed show as novice drivers ran alongside those with over 30 years experience. The Mercury Challenge races, which are part of the Silver Dollar Regatta, were plagued with showers on Saturday, which cut drastically into race time. Race officials tightened up schedules, however, and were able to run the full race program, qualifying the 12 fastest boats in each class for the final event. As race day dawned on Sunday, racers, family, and friends were busy preparing the 2-heat Dash for Cash final on the 1-mile-plus course. Tension mounted as the clock ticked down and the drivers began lining up for the running starts of their heats. Steve Warnock, the 1985 national champion in the 25 Superstock Hydro class, tells us his strategy for the race start and the very important first turn.
The big key is at the starting line, being right at the starting line when the clock hits 0. And you start taking it from there. You get about 12 guys going into the first turn, and you got to watch out for them at the same time and drive your own equipment. Then after that, you start trying to work yourself up. Fortunately, if you get to the first turn first, you've got clean water, and away you go. And that clean water is worth about 3 miles an hour. So that's the real key, is try to get to the first turn first and stay legal.
Steve's strategy proved to be a good one as the 32-year-old Pewaukee, Wisconsin native took top points in the 25 Superstock Hydro class, beating out Lee Furnell of Rochester, New York. Some of the closest, most exciting racing was waged in the powerful D-Stock Hydro class. The crowd was on its feet as drivers spun around corners at 80 miles an hour in their handcrafted boats powered by Mercury Mark 55H outboards. Phil Van Sickle of Bowling, Michigan was the ultimate winner with a first and third in 2 final heats, leaving Stan Armstrong of Chinawa, Wisconsin with a hard-earned second place. The only driver to win both final heats was David DeWald of Reading, Pennsylvania in the 25 Superstock Runabout class. Skimming along in a lightweight boat, David won out over 31-year racing veteran Fred Miller. Youth may have been a factor as top driver Bob Humphrey explains the greater physical stamina needed to drive these smaller, lighter boats compared to the hydro class. Which boat is more physically demanding for you?
Definitely the runabout. I've been running runabouts for 15 years, and I started running hydroplanes 3 years ago. I'm fading out of the runabout. I'm starting to get a little tired. It beats up on your knees a lot. It's just more physically demanding. You don't see the older drivers in the smaller runabout classes.
How about a couple of days after the meeting's over, you're still feeling the effects?
I do now. I didn't feel it 10 years ago. I go home now a lot more sore.
All in all, 5 drivers from each class took home the cash, sparking tough competition for the second round of the Mercury Challenge Series. We'll keep you updated with continuing reports on stock outboard racing next from Dayton, Ohio. This is Steve Michael reporting.